Nobody does it, Bennett. Yes, I've gone and said it. Movies and games, some things that are lame. Nobody does it, Bennett. A video game, movie pitch. We'll make a film with a game and itch. Video game, movie pitch. Let's start a show. No, we're not on Twitch. A video game, movie pitch.
Hello, and welcome to Nobody Does It Bennett, a video game movie pitch. I am your host, The Greg Bennett Experience, and tonight I'm joined by Matt as we put a pitch together for the game Infamous from 2009. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Hello.
It's been a couple of weeks. I think the last time we did Escape from LA wasn't long ago.
No, it wasn't actually.
Speaking of Escape from LA, we actually got a message from someone talking about Escape from LA, which came from a guy called Cody.
Ah, I don't know you, Mr. Cody. Cody with a K?
Cody of the K. Sweet. I was listening to your podcast the other day for Escape from LA. In regards to a politician predicting the apocalypse, apparently he thinks it was in relation to the President Ronald Reagan predicting the religious rapture during his 2 terms.
Ooh.
So it wasn't all Trump. Looks like
Old Reagan.
Reagan paved the way for President Uncle Ben from Escape from LA. So I thought I'd bring that up before we move on to the show today. But there you go.
Cheers for that, Cody.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right into the show for us. What we're going to do tonight is pitch our idea for a movie or TV show for the 2009 PS3 game Infamous. Not the sequels, the original. We will select our cast from the options we have in front of us. Then we will give our basic pitch for a movie or TV show. Matt, have you played Infamous before?
I have indeed, sir, many moons ago. Yeah, I think actually when it came out, what was that, 2010?
2009.
Oh, 2009. Far out. Wow. And then I left school. Yeah. 4 or 5 years ago. Wow. So long ago. No.
What are your thoughts on the game itself? Is it something that you had a lot of fun with, or?
It was a great game. I don't remember much of it, much of the gameplay, but I did watch a couple of videos online and it kind of just re-sparked. I remember it re-sparked. Some of the bits where I always used to just try and find the highest building to jump off for no reason.
Just like the Spider-Man games as well?
Yeah, just like Spider-Man games. The highest building you could possibly think of and just jump off it.
When it came out, I played it straight away too. When it came out, I loved it. I thought the story was strong. I thought the powers were awesome and varied. Like, how many electricity powers could you really have? This actually really stretched that. The fact you can actually use the power lines to almost Tarzan surf through the city.
That was awesome. You could speed up with it too.
I think it's called like the Electro Grind or something like that. Yeah, it's freaking cool.
I liked how they also implemented, because a lot of people would have been like, oh, why can't I drive a car? Well, one of the first missions, he basically tells you why you can't drive a car, because you're electrified.
Yeah. You just drain the battery as soon as you get in. Also, like, it's just more fun to be able to go through and like ride the rails.
Yeah, it would be so much fun.
I also thought the controls as well for the game were actually very tight and very good. Like, the accuracy of actually shooting someone with an electro ball was very, very kind of like almost like a gun.
Yeah, for a reticule too, and you didn't zoom in or anything. It was just an aim with his hand up, and it was centered right at them. Yeah, it was actually a lot easier than a lot of games at the time.
I had a lot of fun with this game. Infamous is an action-adventure video game developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation 3. The game was released in May 2009. The player controls the protagonist Cole McGrath, a bike messenger caught in the center of an explosion that devastates several blocks of the fictional Empire City. Oh, he's a bike messenger. I wonder if he was the bike messenger that knocked down Peter Parker in Spider-Man.
Oh,
Bike messenger, knock me down.
Yeah. It's him.
I have to leave because that guy's Spider-Man.
It's McGrath.
The explosion sends the city into chaos, while Cole finds himself with a new electricity-based superpowers. Though the game's story follows Cole using his new abilities to restore some semblance of order to Empire City, the player is given several opportunities to use the powers for good or evil purposes in the game's karma system. These choices ultimately affect the character's growth, the reaction of the city's populace towards Cole, and the finer elements of gameplay and the story. Sucker Punch developed Infamous as a change of pace from the earlier Sly Cooper series. So the people did Sly Cooper or made this game.
Cool.
Yeah, Sly Cooper was a series of stealth-based games, but using a similar comic book-inspired origin story to help the player become more connected with Cole.
It had good graphics too.
It did. I actually really like the comic book kind of styles, but also because they kind of moved as well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Motion comic style.
that's what I like about Borderlands. Actually, it's almost got that cartoony. Yeah, where they've got real vivid detailing around the face.
And the black outlines around the characters.
I like them. Yeah,
Very comic book. The game's pacing and the introduction of new superpowers and ease of movement about the city by unconventional means were critical factors during development. The desolate urban atmosphere was inspired by such comics as DMZ and Batman No Man's Land. But you say it kind of felt a little bit like Escape from New York and Escape from LA as well.
Yeah, it did quite.
Kind of like just hopelessness.
Yeah, isolated the city and just left them to rot, really. It's like, oh, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, government, that looks after us.
Amon Tobin was among the artists that helped compile its soundtrack, which aimed to reflect the environment. And this game was, of course, followed by the sequel Infamous 2 in June 2011. It doesn't feel that old. When I look at it, it doesn't feel like it's 13 years old.
Doesn't it all? It feels like Grand Theft Auto 5 to me.
Well, that's been around since about the same time.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong, actually. I was thinking 2010. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, hang on. It was 2.
Yeah, and that's still going. So, like, it's weird because Infamous you can't actually play on PS4 or PS5.
No, and there's no online capabilities or nothing, is there?
They haven't brought it onto the network or the PlayStation Store, so you can't actually play it.
I wonder if there's anything to do with the developers who made the game.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a remaster. Everything gets remastered. Why not Infamous?
All the Assassin's Creed, all the games from around then, actually.
If you have any thoughts or perhaps a question you would like to ask us about an episode of the show, or perhaps you just want to talk about movies or games in general, well, you can. You can visit the Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page, or you can find us on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. You can also email us at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. It's a Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. Right, Matt? Let's go to our casting, shall we, for Infamous. So what we'll do first is just go through 5 characters that we're going to cast for the movie or TV show. Anyone we don't cast in this, you can feel free to have in your pitch and have whoever you like in the role. But yeah, we'll have some options between us and see what our cast looks like for Infamous from 2009. Let's do our cast, shall we?
A video game movie pitch.
Would you like to go first, sir?
All right. So, for the character 1, which is going to be Cole, so we're casting Cole McGrath.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who you've got for this.
I should actually tell you, I'm doing a TV show as my first thing is a TV show. I've got 8 episodes long for the TV show. It's live action. And for Cole, first actor option is someone that's very good at everything he does. Any role he plays, you believe him in it because he's that good. My first option for Cole is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh, Jahid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been in a lot of good movies.
Been in Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Oh my God, he was Mysterion.
Mysterio, yeah.
Oh, Mysterio, he was too.
Like, he's been in a lot of good films. Yeah.
This will sound a bit weird, but it's 21st century, so you guys can all get over it. Brokeback Mountain.
That was a very good film.
He was amazing in that.
Yeah. When that came out, that was nominated for so many Oscars.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
It's just the depth in the characters.
Yeah. He's very, very good in it. So what I'm thinking of is Nightcrawler. He plays a reporter that actually starts creating crimes so he can report on them.
Oh.
It's a really good movie. It came out in 2014. And a thriller called Prisoners with Hugh Jackman. That's really, really good, but really, really dark.
Yeah, there's Jarhead as well. He was in quite a lot of movies like that.
End of Watch, I'm thinking of as well, which has him and Michael Pena. It's just filmed pretty much with dash cams from the cop cars and everything like that. Yeah. And it's about them as a partnership who are just cops going around trying to solve the crimes. It's really cool as well.
Is Jarhead the one with him and Tobey Maguire?
No, it's Brothers. He's in that as well.
That movie. Oh my God. Yeah. Toby. Oof.
Toby can act.
Whoa, can he act? Holy crap.
But yeah, so Jake Gyllenhaal was my first option. So who is your first option, sir, for Cole?
Sam Witwer. Oh, yeah. If you know Sam Witwer, he played Starkiller.
He was Starkiller. I was thinking in the Force. Was it Force Unleashed?
Unleashed, yeah, The Force Unleashed. I've always loved his face as a computer animated kind of just the way he responds to it. And I was thinking, perfect with the shaved head and everything. He could play a Cole, and I do like his voice.
And he's good at playing infamous roles because he played a role in Smallville season 8 that everyone hates because he played Doomsday. And it was like just not the way Doomsday should ever be introduced into a Superman role. And they just kind of ruined the character with him. It wasn't his fault.
Smallville was great.
It was great in certain seasons, but there's some seasons that you go look back and you go, mistakes were made. And that was one of the mistakes. But he wasn't the reason why. It was the story. But he's good at being infamous. Also, he's in a movie called The Mist from 2007 as well.
Is that the one where it kind of creeps up on people when people start disappearing?
It's one where they go into a convenience store or a supermarket, and all of a sudden there's a fog outside and they can't leave. It's got Thomas Jane from The Punisher.
Oh yeah, I've seen some bits of that.
But it came out in 2007. It was directed by Frank Dellenbaugh, who did like Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile.
Oh yeah, so it would be one of those almost not a psychological thriller in a way, but
It kind of is. Thriller/horror. But it's a really good film. But yeah, he plays a small role in it as well. So yeah, no, good choice. My second choice for an actor option for Cole in Infamous, I went with this one because I like him. And I think he's good. And I think he'd make the role his own if he went for this one. My second option is Michael B. Jordan.
ooh,
Go for a very physical kind of role because he could do physicality. He'd be great.
yeah, that would work.
Michael B. Jordan, of course, he was again another one in a Marvel movie. He was in Black Panther as Killmonger. He'd been in Fantastic Four, so he's infamous as well. he was in the reboot.
Was he?
He played Johnny Storm.
Oh, he did too. He looks so good in that suit. Oh, he did too.
He's in one called Fruitvale Station. It's actually very good as well. And he was in Chronicle.
Oh my God, he was the guy who got shot in the clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, I was too. Oh, he was just trying to be your friend, and you got angry with him and struck him down to his death.
And he also played this small character called Creed as well. Adonis Creed in the movie Creed. Of course, as well. Going to direct the next one. So, but yes, Michael B. Jordan is my second option. Have you got a second option, sir?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover's so good.
Yeah, love him. Absolutely love him. Love his music. Yep. Love how he produces his music like it's a story based on all old historical intentions is how he puts all his music, and his acting is exactly the same.
And he's well known to a video game movie pitch too, because I pitched him in Assassin's Creed as well.
Oh, cool.
As playing Miles, is it?
Miles, that's it. Yeah.
We actually cast him in that one too as Miles, because I love Donald Glover.
He'd suit that. Yeah, that'd be good.
But yeah, I can see him as well in this. He could be funny as well as be serious.
Yeah,
rather.
he'd nail that.
I think with Gyllenhaal and Michael B. Jordan, everything would be more serious tone.
Yeah, Glover would play it quite well.
No, good choice. My third option for a person to play Cole, someone who's been in more TV than movies. He was recently in a movie that didn't do too well called Eternals. Richard Madden. He's also in Game of Thrones. He played the oldest Stark that gets killed at the wedding. He's also in a show called The Bodyguard, or Bodyguard in the UK.
Yeah, I'm going to actually have to have a look at his face. I'm trying to think of his name, but I can't really.
Here's there.
Oh, yes.
If I was going for more traditional Cole, being he's not quite as well known as the other two, I think he could be a good one just to kind of believe you more that he's Cole rather than just an actor playing Cole.
He got shot in the stomach by a bow and arrow, didn't he?
He got murdered at his own wedding.
Yep, the red wedding. As soon as I saw his smiley face there, I'm just like, oh, I saw the look on your face when there's blood everywhere. Yeah. Oh, that was the scene.
Did he watch his wife die in that before he died? I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he watched everyone die. That's kind of walked in.
That's right. And then they sort of throw it afterwards.
Yeah, he got shot and then he's like sat there just like, oh no, I got shot in the stomach, blah, blah, sitting at the table. Everyone's just getting killed around him.
What an episode. But yeah, Richard Madden. That's my third choice. What, have you got a third choice there for Cole?
No, that's all I have for Cole.
Okay, have you got any options that you want to push forward to potentially be?
I was thinking Vin Diesel. Weirdly. If he could act better and he wasn't so firmly.
I can see it kind of the look of it.
Yeah, but he'd probably just give up on it.
I think he'd be too much like Riddick.
He'd probably murder you. He'd take all the bad choices and he would have taken it at the end and he'd just kill everyone. Oh, he would too.
I'd probably go for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, no, Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. So the fight between Gyllenhaal and Glover.
Yeah.
You know what? I love Donald Glover and anything he does.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, he would be so good in that.
It'd almost be like a Static Shock sort of situation too.
He'd look cool. He'd wear a scarf too. He'd wear a scarf that would just look cool.
Let's go with him. He could bring more to the story than just a two-dimensional character, where Cole is pretty two-dimensional in this game. Yeah, you got choices. He's just a serious gruff guy. I think Glover,
He wouldn't have believed Zeke. Donald would have gone, no.
you wouldn't expect him to be the hero because he's not the stature that you expect him of a hero.
Yeah, true.
But I just like the fact that I'd be interested to see what he could do.
He'd be humble too, wouldn't he?
And very likable. You'd get behind him straight away. He wouldn't be someone that you're gonna like, not sure if you'd root for or not.
terrorist. Yeah.
All right, cool. We've marked down Donald Glover as our first option. Right, so for our second character, we've got Zeke. Who is your first actor option first for Zeke, sir?
Do you remember Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yes.
Roman. Ah, cousin.
The unlikable guy in that? Yeah.
That guy, Jason Michael Zumwalt as Zeke. Ah, yes, I want to see this Roman. Like, that was him. Haha, let's get drunk, cousin. Like, idiot. Yeah, that's who I kind of picture for Zeke. Just, live up here and sit on my couch and kind of do nothing.
What's that character, though, that you would never like him?
No, you wouldn't.
That's the thing is, for Zeke, I think it's more interesting that you don't know what he is until the end. And then at the end, he looks like he's going to turn and he does it.
Yeah, on my other actors, but...
You just could never back him. That's my issue with him.
Nah, you couldn't, yeah.
My first option is someone that you'd like and be gutted when he turned on him. My first option for Zeke is Jack Black.
Oh, because he would turn on him too.
He'd be that kind of friend guy real easily. When he makes a decision at the end, he's like, I knew at the end he'd make the right decision, sort of thing. Or maybe he doesn't in the show.
Yeah, or he doesn't, yeah, true.
But yeah, he's my first option for Zeke. He's also going to be in Borderlands as well. He's playing Claptrap.
Oh my god. Oh, that's going to be wonderful because I hate the voice actor for Claptrap.
Have you got a second choice, sir, for Zeke?
John Latruglio from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, is he the guy that plays that...
Charles.
Oh, is he the guy that plays Charles in it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's hilarious. I like him.
Yeah, so I like him, but he's also not too good and too bad. He's kind of that middle playing field. So he would just he'd just be your best friend the whole way through, it would look like. Then he'd be like, but Nicolaj.
Yeah, it looks like a weasel too. But he's very good in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I'll give you that. For some reason at first I thought it was the guy who's always undercover. That's crazy.
Oh, Adrian Pimenta.
Yeah.
I once took a guy's eyeballs out and blah, blah, yeah. I can't go back to the job, man.
My second option is Hannibal Buress.
Ooh, yes, I love him. He's one of my favourite comedians. One of my favourite Hannibal's hands.
His deadpan delivery of being Zeke would be just hilarious.
I would too. Yeah, man, I'm just going to take it.
I love him in Spider-Man Homecoming when he's like doing the Captain American videos and stuff. I think this guy's a war criminal now, but listen to what he has to say.
Oh my god, that is Hannibal Buress. Oh my god, he's been in so many things. What? Oh, I'm glad. Oh, I love him. He's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah. And the way he just keeps it straight. He's on this show called Eric Andre. Oh my god. He's like the middleman in it. He walks up behind actual celebrities, right up behind their chair, and will just whisper things to them.
Have you got a third option, sir, for Zeke?
No.
I have a third option. He would be very easy to be annoying, and people would very easily dislike him. But he could also be likable, I guess, because he's a good enough actor. My third option for Zeke is Jonah Hill.
Oh, yeah, because he has yep. Yeah, I see that. Not too serious, not too...
Kind of annoying.
Yeah, kind of annoying, just like he was in that movie I just watched with him. The World Coming to an End or something. Don't Look Up.
Oh, thinking of This Is the End.
Oh, yeah, that right, yeah. But yeah, Don't Look Up, he plays this... How did he say it? He goes, I basically play a preppy frat boy from Ibiza. And he's just like the president's son. He's like, yeah, we're going to die. Woo! Just doesn't care. He's wearing like Gucci watches, always posting on the internet. Just doesn't care. Yo, fam. But it's quite good if you watch that on Netflix.
So have you got a choice for options that are your one, sir? Or do you have any options that you want to go with for Zeke?
Not really, no.
For me, between Jack Black and Hannibal Buress, I'd probably go Jack Black for his energy. And he's likable, so therefore you'd be disappointed when he makes the wrong decision if he does.
Yeah, Jason Michael Zuma, what I was thinking, yeah, he would just annoy me.
Yeah, Zeke's almost a used car salesman, and I think Jack Black could pay that off.
Oh, Danny DeVito. He's a bit old for that role, though.
Yeah, so Jack Black's what I'd go for.
Yeah, no, I'd go for Jack Black.
Jack Black?
Yeah, we could definitely see that.
We'll mark him down.
Yeah, sitting up on the couch eating pizza, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be the hero. I was in a game called Brutal Legend.
Our third character option we're going for is Moya. Pretty much in your ear the whole time. You might, in the TV show or movie, you might cut back to her talking to him or something. But she's very much just a person in your ear the whole time. My first option for this is someone who's really, really good at being that person in your ear and Also being the authority figure a lot in things. My first option is CCH Pounder. There's a lot of voice work as well as live action work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so she's got that kind of real authority kind of voice.
She's been in a lot of things.
She's in The Shield as well. I'm very good in that.
Oh, yep.
With old Michael Chiklis. My first option, yeah, CCH Pounder. Have you got a first option, sir, for Moya?
Emily Browning?
Emily Browning.
Yeah, weird one. She was on that movie Sucker Punch.
Australian.
Yeah, kind of went from like a small, didn't really know what was going on, but she still had like this commanding type of voice when she got into it, and I liked the way she portrayed that, so I was thinking that'd be quite nice for
She's
her.
very good. She's in American God season 1.
Oh, yeah.
As also, she's in a series of unfortunate events with old Jim Carrey. She's a little girl.
Oh my God, it's Violet. She was so young. It's amazing how this movie's progressed. Oh, the movie came out last year. It's like, yeah, but it took 2.5 years to make.
She was about 14 in that, and that was 17 years ago. 18 years ago now.
Wow.
So, yeah, Emily Browning, good choice. Good Australian choice.
Australia.
My second option for Moya is an actress called Maggie Siff. She's in Sons of Anarchy, also in a TV show called Billions at the moment.
Not the one who plays Leah in Futurama, is she?
No, that's Katie Seagal, who also is in Married with Children.
Oh, yeah, she's in Weeds.
Yeah, she's in Billions as well at the moment. She's very, very good. I thought she can also play more of a role if needed too as well. And you get it for cheap because she's usually on TV shows.
Yeah, Jax's girlfriend.
That was her, yeah. Absolutely. His wife, I think, in the end. Yeah. So Maggie Siff. Have you got a second option?
Kaylee Cuoco.
Interesting. That's really interesting because I've got her in another role.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I could see her as Moya.
Yeah.
I just can, because she played Harley Quinn in...
The Harley Quinn TV show.
Yeah.
She's great in that.
Nails it. Absolutely nails it. And I could just see her, coming through your ear, just no. And then at the end of it, she's just lied to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, do I trust her? Oh, God, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she could do that, definitely.
She could do it, but I'm not sure if she could pull off the authority figure.
Yeah, she's a bit...
Good actress, but she never is in a role where she's in authority.
You're not wrong. Yeah, true. She's always kind of...
I'm trying to talk her out of it because I want her in another role.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, as Trish, because I think she'd be a really good nurse / former girlfriend or
All
girlfriend
right,
of Cole.
we'll change my other option for Trish then to this one,
Okay.
which is Stephanie Beatriz.
Is she from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she could definitely play Moya.
Yeah, she could. She got that very pissed off kind of element to her voice.
So then we've both got Kaylee Cuoco for Trish.
So she'll be Trish. So she'll be confirmed as Trish then.
I love the actor.
Yeah, but Kaylee Cuoco's perfect. I'm fine for that role.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we've already cast Trish, but we'll go back to that later on. Stephanie's first saw in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I got her mixed up with Jodie Sweetin. I thought she was the one who plays Stephanie from Full House.
Yeah, they do look similar.
But I thought they were the same person, but I was wrong. But yeah, it's actually a good choice. My third choice is a callback to our last video game movie pitch that we did for Alex Kidd in Miracle World. You picked someone that I was like, yes, as soon as you picked it, I would have been yes for, so I put her in here as well. My third option, that will never probably happen for a TV show because she's too important and too expensive. My third option is Meryl Streep.
Oh, damn, that's what I have for Trish.
Meryl Streep, like a 70-year-old lady.
Yeah, I was like, she can do the Trish, just the voice acting for it. She can do that. I love you, Cole, but...
Is yours animated, your TV show?
Yeah.
Ah, so sorry, I didn't know that was. It's like Meryl Streep, 70-year-old lady.
That doesn't work.
She's in there. So she's my third option. I'd probably think of CCH Pounder, but I actually like the one who played Rosa and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Stephanie Beatriz.
Stephanie Beatriz. I'll put her down. Stephanie Beatriz.
Just more commanding, she's just like, oh, I'm not lying to you. Just the way she kind of portrayed it throughout the whole game was...
So they're both TV shows, so it'd be interesting. It makes sense for her to be on it too.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense her being that than Trish too.
Character 4 is John, otherwise known as the Beast, in the game. I have 3 options, but I'll let you go first, sir. Who's your first option?
John Leguizamo.
Yep. I just actually watched Super Mario Brothers, the movie, over the weekend for the very first time from the 90s, and he plays Luigi in that.
Yes, he does. He is great.
He's also in John Wick. He plays the auto repair guy that goes, where'd you get this car from? The guy goes, some guy, and he punches him in the face and goes, do you understand whose car this is? Oh, don't worry, he killed his dog too.
Oh,
you killed
that's
his
right.
dog.
So you killed his dog? Oh, that's
The
right.
boss brings up going, why did you hit my son? And he goes, he just took John Wick's car and killed his dog. And he's like, Oh, I understand.
That's right, the big Russian guy. That's right.
Yeah, but no, he's always good.
Yeah, I like him.
Usually a good character actor as well that kind of fits with the ensemble.
Yeah, because he can get quite, like, as John does in the game, gets quite in your face. Kind of, not demanding, but he's just kind of on point, always there.
He can be friendly and also menacing too.
Yeah.
No, good choice. My first option for John the Beast is Sterling K. Brown. This guy's in like Supernatural. He's in Black Panther. But he was a vampire hunter in Supernatural was the first thing I saw him in. I always like him because he's always really expressive.
Oh my God, he was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
Yeah.
He plays a dental hygienist that kills a guy and then melts down the dental polymer that he killed the guy with and put it inside.
That's right, because they're interrogating him because he's so smart.
And he's sitting there, yeah, it's so good. And he's like, "That's how I did it, son." And he's just like, "And you've just given us the case."
But he's a guy that can be your friend but also be your enemy very, very easily. I remember him in Supernatural being that kind of role where he's first very friendly towards them, but once they realise how violent he is, he becomes your enemy. Yeah. And I think he'd be a really good John because I think he could just be commanding as well. Okay, have you got a second option, sir, for John?
Te Kohe Te Haka. He was in the Deadlands. He plays Wairapa. He was also in Shortland
I
Street.
was going to say, he looks like he'd be in Shortland Street as well. One for Deadlands. Oh yeah, he's very suave looking.
He is suave looking. Yeah,
Very suave.
beautiful man.
Yeah, he is. He kind of reminds me of Manu Bennett a little bit as well.
He does too.
It'd be an interesting role too. Having a New Zealander in there would be cool.
Oh, and Dwayne Johnson as John. Yeah.
We usually go back and forth with this, but we'll just say it out loud. Might as well. But yeah, my second option for for John the Beast. That's all right. So we got Dwayne Johnson, Teoki Te Haka, and we've also got John Leguizamo. So we've got Sterling K. Brown as my first choice, and my second option is Wesley Snipes.
Ooh. Mr. Snipes. Yeah. He would nail that role.
It would be a welcome back after his kind of not so famous return from tax evasion, where he's been in some movies but not great ones. Be kind of like a way to get back into the fold.
Oh, Wesley Snipes. He's almost like the serious version of Chris Tucker.
I just love him in Blade. So exciting. That opening scene in Blade where he's like in that nightclub for vampires. The blood comes down and that guy who's not knowing what's going on is about to get eaten by a whole bunch of vampires, and then Blade comes out of nowhere and just completely destroys the vampires in the
I'd
nightclub.
have to rewatch. I haven't seen that.
That opening sequence, so good. Wesley Snipes is my second option. My third option is for someone who hasn't been in much lately, but he is in one of the most successful films of all time. He's in Avatar. He's also in Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans.
I love that actor.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, he any role he plays, he nails.
Yeah.
He nails that, and he can play such a good, calm, collected character, but also this kind of risen up monster. Yeah, even his acting. Oh, I like that.
Also Terminator Salvation. He's good in that as well.
Oh, he was too. Yeah. See, he would play a good Mad Max for me if it wasn't
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be a very good role for that.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really had much lately. There's a movie I'm about to watch. I bought it on the Xbox store that came out last year with him and Harvey Keitel in it. It's a mafia movie as well that's about the accountant from the mob. Lansky, about Meyer Lansky. He's like a reporter that's interviewing Meyer Lansky before he died about the whole mob. And Harvey Keitel plays Meyer Lansky.
Oh, I could see him as John.
It'd be a good counterbalance because you think usually he's a hero.
Usually he's Cole. He's the Cole. He's the, yeah.
We haven't really seen him in big action blockbusters recently, so it'd be kind of a cool way to kind of bring him in. And you think, you see him, you think he's going to be friendly.
True. And at the end, he kind of gives you that look.
Well, he can be your friend or he can be your enemy depending on which way you go.
I like that. Oh.
Yeah, those are my three choices, sir. Do you have anyone that you want to push forward, or do you have any options that you liked?
Your last one.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, I'd probably pick him to play John.
You think he's a Worthington of it?
He is Worthington. Yeah, he's infamous enough.
All right, I'll go with him too, because I would be interested to see Sam Worthington come back. And Wesley Snipes, you don't know what you're going to get. He might be annoying because no one played
Demolition Man.
He is.
He was Demolition Man. Yeah.
New Jack City.
Oh, it was too. Yeah. Where was that all because of tax evasion?
He got done for years of tax evasion. He was in prison for like 5 years, 6 years.
Damn.
Yeah, because Blade Trinity, he was his last film, I think, before he went to prison. Maybe. Yeah. And Murder at 1600 is another one of his, where like he's a detective investigating the murder at the White House. Yeah. Art of War from the late 90s. That's not his. Our next character we're going to cast is Trish, that we've already gone for Katie Coco with, because we both agreed to go for Katie Coco. The other actress I was going for was Jessica Henwick. I always like to put her in there. She's in Iron Fist.
That would be good.
I also went for her and tried to go for her in Assassin's Creed because I always like her. I watched her recently in The Matrix Resurrections. Wasn't a great film, Resurrections, but she was good in it.
Is that the one where they go down to the city of Zion?
This is the newest one that just came out.
Oh.
It's the one that came out in the movies about a month ago.
I have not seen that.
It came out digitally to buy and I watched it and it wasn't great, but
damn
she
it.
was good in it. And she's always good in everything I see her in.
Yeah.
And my other option was Mary Elizabeth Weinstein.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Yeah. But we've already gone Katie Kuko. So.
Yeah, I had another one.
What was your options?
Jen Taylor, who played Cortana in Halo 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she's annoying.
She's not going to be Cortana in the series either, I don't think. So they got someone brand new because of the Halo TV series coming out.
Have you seen the trailer for that with the Chevy Tahoe in the background?
Yeah.
There's so many memes on the internet. Chevy Tahoe, enlist with your USDC. Woo!
But yeah, Katie Kuko. Yeah. She's already Trish, so we've gone through there. So we have now cast all the ones we're going to cast. Let's go back through who we've got. For Cole, we have cast Donald Glover. For Zeke, we have cast Jack Black. For Moya, we have cast Tiffany Beatrice. For John, or the Beast, we have cast Sam Worthington. And for Trish, we have cast Kaylee Kuko, otherwise known from The Big Bang Theory and Harley Quinn. So now we've gone our cast, so we'll start to go through our pictures if you like. Do you want to go first or second?
Paper, scissors, rock.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Always go the rock.
Damn you, Dwayne.
I'll go first.
Nobody does it, Bennett. Quack.
This is probably the least detailed picture I've ever had on the show so far, because usually I go into great episodic detail. This one, for me, the story, I said earlier on, the story was something I got grabbed onto when I first played the game. When I went through this, I realized the story wasn't quite as in-depth as I expected it to be. It's a good concept, and it's got some good, interesting moments, but the story in general is not hugely great. So I've gone for a more simplistic kind of story and gone with a different element to my show that no one else has done before. So mine's a live-action TV show. It's 8 episodes long, but they're going to be 4 episodes story. 4 episodes story for the positive choices and 4 episodes story for the bad. My TV show is going to be split in 2. The positive Cole story will be called Infamous Savior, and the negative story will be called Infamous Sinner.
It's almost like the whole how they have those Bandersnatch things on Netflix where you can with the multiple choices. I like that. That's cool. It'd be nice to watch 2 different ones.
Yeah. Say Savior and Sinner, so one would be like maybe the advertising would be blue for Savior and red for Sinner, so you know which one you get into. You can watch both because there'll be choices that make differently to see how the end concept will be.
Oh, I like that.
So both shows will start out the same way. The explosion that levels Empire City. Cole wakes up surrounded by the fiery destruction that has been left. Confused, he sets off to figure out what happened. As Cole makes his way through the rubble, he realizes he can be charged by electrical devices such as car batteries and power junction boxes. Cole will reach his friend Zeke, but because he can't control his electrical powers yet, Cole will collapse and fall into a coma. Zeke and Trish will stay at Cole's bedside while the city starts to fall apart. After the explosion, Empire City fell victim to a plague, which led to rioting and serious crimes, including murders. The federal government locks all access in and out of Empire City. Cole wakes up with his newfound electrical powers. He will struggle at first, but will slowly learn to control it and master it. This is where things will start to change. Both episodes will be the same for about the first half of episode 1, but midway through episode 1, Cole will make a choice. After fighting off a gang known as Reapers from a food supply drop, Cole will decide if he keeps all the food for him and Zeke, or if he will share it with the people of the city. This choice splits the show into 2 branching stories, Savior and Sinner. As Cole progresses through each episode, he will develop powers and relationships with people depending on which show you are watching. Savior, Cole will develop powers that are used to disable rather than kill. Will also develop the ability to heal. This relationship with Trish will only get stronger, whilst the relationship with John will sour. Zeke is the friend or character you're not sure about, whether he's friend or potential foe. Sinner, Cole will develop powers used to kill and torture people. His relationship with Trish will sour, while he will form a strong bond with John. Zeke is still the uncertain character. So both ways, you don't know which way Jack Black's going to go because you just don't know.
I like that. You wouldn't either. No, you'd be kind of going, I wonder what's going to happen at the end of both of them.
Maybe in Savior he'll make the wrong choice. Maybe in Sinner he'll make the right choice. because he's a character you're not sure about. Both paths will lead to Cole fighting the all-powerful Conduit and the leader of the First Sons, Kessler. You will learn that Kessler is in fact Cole from the future, who has come back to help Cole reach his potential faster and help destroy John, known as the Beast. As in the timeline Kessler is from, the Beast kills Trish and Cole's child. Savior. Cole and Zeke, so this is the Savior ending thing. Cole, Zeke, and Trish will choose to fight for Empire City by fighting the Beast John. After a long, tense battle, Cole will win, but will also lose. Cole will defeat the Beast and become a savior to Empire City, but will decide to leave Trish and his friends behind and go it alone. Sinner. Cole will decide not to take Kessler's advice and will side with the Beast, plunging Empire City into more chaos. Cole will also get more powerful. So that's how the season will end, because it will probably lead to a season 2. Because it's Sinner and Savior, the whole series from then on out is going to be completely different. Because
I like that. That's cool.
yeah, that's why we went 4 episodes each, because that way it'd be just enough not to get irritating to how long and prolonged it's going to be. But if you wanted to watch the whole thing, it was only 8 episodes long as well. For less means you can do more with it too, more effects. That's how basic my pitch was, but that is my whole pitch.
That's good. Basic, but it wasn't.
Yeah, basic, but
You've still got a lot more depth than I have in mind.
well, it's more about the spin of it rather than the story itself. Like, I've never seen a TV show actually split in two and have 2 different branching stories at the same time. I've had, like you said, it's the ones where you can choose as you go along, but you haven't had one. It's just definedly the same show, but also 2 different shows.
Yeah, the only thing you'd be able to compare that to would be the old Goosebumps books that give you those multi-choice, and then you're either just going to go, nah, I'm going to go back. It would be just like watching, oh, I don't like the bad one now. I'm just going to watch the good one.
Yeah, and again, that's just you choose again. There's no 2 defined shows that will branch off in 2 different directions. Because if you choose, you're always like, this choice comes up, then that next choice comes up, then the next choice comes up. This branching story, it will create different choices that you won't be able to make in any other story, because it's so different now. Like, if he's so good or so evil, he won't have the choices
that's true.
that he would have had if he just went the same path and just made the same choices.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Also, it's just like movies that we watch too, like Endgame, before the second bit came out of it, everyone was thinking, oh my god, they all lost.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And that was like, well, actually, here you go, guys. Here's it from a different perspective. But it would be cool to have both.
In this world, though, that you'd make another movie where they won and Thanos didn't, but then you would find the branching stories where an Endgame, maybe Thanos wins in the end. Yeah, but that's my pitch for Infamous.
That's cool. I like that. So mine is a anime, 6-part series, cliffhangers, of course.
And this is animated as well?
Yeah. Kind of like, have you seen on Disney, there's a Star Wars type of thing that they've brought out, where it's all different animations.
No, I haven't yet.
Oof, it's bloody good. One of them is R2-D2 droid Jedi, but they're Japanese samurais.
Oh, okay.
It is wonderful. But that's kind of where I got the inspiration of this from. So my Infamous one is a 6-part animation, styled somewhat off Borderlandy, but also Star Warsy, old Japanese. It doesn't. Yeah, it's in my head. I can see it, but
A new original yet mixture of other things.
yeah, for the listener, it's just kind of words. The scene starts in Empire City with our main character Cole McGrath, a bike messenger in first person, as the city begins to explode, just like Escape from LA. I don't know why I put that in brackets. Explosions left, right and centre as people scatter through the city. There's an aerial view of a helicopter showing the damage. The main character is Cole. He wakes up burnt and scalded atop a piece of eroded land from the explosions. A voice starts talking. Activation plus 6 minutes. Pulse is 45. Respiration 10. Looking good, Cole. Cole wakes up burnt, scalded atop of eroded land from the explosions. The hell happened, he says. A rescue helicopter appears and tells him to head for a bridge. Some man called Zeke calls out our main lead. He says the TV said that there are terrorists and he needs to watch out. Cole gets electrocuted, but for some reason it doesn't hurt him and flies around him like an Aegis. The electricity coming from Cole is destroying absolutely everything. Zeke seems to think it's the terrorists, but I think we know better. Cole gets across the bridge in the nick of time before it collapses. Cole collapses as well. Fades out, episode 2, and then it's, while sliding into unconsciousness, I can somehow, I don't know, hear the voices of the dying, and then there's just the background of everything happening.
So is this where he's in the coma or just after the coma?
Kind of him in the coma, where he's got Zeke and that sitting next to them.
It'd be interesting that to actually have like a visual of him in his own head.
It would be quite cool, actually, yeah. So yeah, it's basically that entire bit by rioting, thefts, The civilization committing suicide in a crap attempts to contain the biological threat. Now we're stuck here in the cage of psychos. And then it comes up with him stood there rubbing his face, and it goes, outside things were bad, but inside me, something was beginning. And his hands start to go...
That would be a good place for the title. Infamous.
Yeah, it would be. Cole starts to get used to the electrical feeling in his body. He starts to conjure and learn about it, still completely confused, but he hopes it's not too late. The camera rolls across a city background. Empire City, day 14 of quarantine, slides through the ominous city and pans out. The camera across the top of the building. It's Cole and Zeke. Cole uses his abilities to charge the TV, but in that feels more powerful. Helicopters and yelling down on the street.
Helicopters are yelling? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
yo,
exactly what I
I'm
put.
a
Helicopters
helicopter.
are yelling down on the street. There are helicopters and people yelling down on the street. As Zeke goes down the stairs, Cole decides to take the express elevator, which is jumping directly off onto the ground. Zeke and Cole decide to go grab a gun from one of Zeke's friends, but Cole remembers the time his pals cooked the gunpowder and exploded in his hand. That would suck. Imagine that just pop, pop.
That'd be a cool visual, like cut away to him actually doing that.
Yeah. What? And Zeke going...
Then cutting back to the conversation, like,
Zeke can't find the gun that they've decided to go and look for, so Cole decides it's a good idea to send a shockwave electricity to find where the gun is. The shockwave destroys all the cars, but in turn they find the gun. How? Cole feels fatigued and almost passes out. Zeke tells him that he doesn't look good, so he shoots out an electrical generator and recharges himself, thus making him better. We're introduced to Cole's girlfriend, Trish. She calls him and asks to see if he's okay. The only part of the conversation she hears is that he's jumped off a building and to meet them at Archer Square. Cole and Zeke help a police officer get some supplies that are dropped on the way of a building, but with Cole's abilities it becomes a very easy feat. People gather to get supplies, and something catches Cole's eyes from the distance. That's gone.
in the episode.
So it's him sitting there kind of just looking and being like, what is that? After he's just helped these people and he's like, okay.
That's a good cliffhanger. Just like the best thing to do is to leave it with I'm curious to see what that was. Yeah. So that's a good cliffhanger.
The Reapers. Which is episode 3 to start off.
They're the coolest gang, I find.
They're the coolest game. They're just made by sludge like an X-Files. Cole explains in a monologue that before the blast they were just a bunch of junkies dealing drugs. But now they own the Neon District. They take whatever they want. But the camera pans over Cole as he wipes the sweat off his brow and calmly states, that changes today. He jumps down off the building, rushing the Reapers, shooting electricity everywhere. He scares them off so the people can get supplies. But he thinks to himself, with a good or a bad choice, he could use the feed to feed him and Trish for weeks. All he would have to do is fry a couple of people and the rest will run. But is that the good thing to do? He reconsiders another option. Let the pedestrians take the food as they might starve as an act of good. Or as an act of bad, take the food for yourselves. With everything that's happened, Cole decides to let the people eat. Morality is on his side today. And then it kind of pans out from that bit, which is morality is on his side today. And then it's him getting attacked by all people in this next scene, and he's just like getting yelled at. Consequences, and ever been called a terrorist? First thing in the next scene, Cole realizes his package he delivered was the bomb. They start to call him a terrorist. Zeke and Cole decide to leave the city. They have to. There's riot cops, but here's another good or bad choice for Cole. And what will he decide? With what's going on, the good move would be to attack the police on his own to avoid the crowd being attacked. But the bad move is to attack the police with the crowd and start a riot. Cole, of course, chooses a good action and decides to attack them himself, saving pedestrians from having the crap beaten out of them. This next scene is quite terrifying. Zeke and Cole realise behind the gate is a giant wall of razor wire and machine guns escaped from LA. Even with his good choice, the people are still being killed, slaughtered by the police like animals. Zeke smashes through the fence into the decom unit and falls straight into the harbour.
So it's kind of almost a Holocaust prison area, is it?
Basically, yeah, it's just like a little, Cole's eyes widen as he's run faster than his feet could carry him. He loses consciousness. Episode 4. Boom! Big slam of a door. Cole awakes in a room with his hands tied behind his back in a one-way mirror. Someone named Moya said she saw the footage of him in an explosion. She knew he had powers and would try to escape. Before the blast, her partner named John was sent to infiltrate the First Sons, a shadow group making something called the Ray Sphere. Oh my god.
The race sphere.
No, you will have no culture. The Ray Sphere. To concentrate neuroelectrical energy from a group of people and concentrate it on an individual. Until Moya saw the video of Cole at Ground Zero, she lost contact with her husband and thought maybe she could trust him enough to find the Ray Sphere and her husband. Still the same scene, just kind of clips apart. Cole needs to get back to the city. He scales the bottom of a bridge to get to Empire City. Reapers are stood at the end of the bridge attacking Cole from re-entering the city. Finally, Cole finds Zeke and he's okay. Zeke thought Cole was dead. Cole explains the race fair to Zeke, and Zeke tells him it all makes sense now. Sounds like a conspiracy to me. Cole touches a dead woman and reads her last memories. The Reapers kidnapped Brandon, this woman's husband. Cole can see the echo of this person transmitting through his brain. The Reapers attack Cole as he tries to follow this echo through the city. Cole finds Brandon and tells him Linnea is dead, his wife. He doesn't believe him, but then in the end does.
It's a choice in the game, isn't it? Yeah. You can make. And
Yeah, you can either tell him that, nah, man, they killed your wife, I'm sorry, or you can be like, no, it's all good, it's all good.
you can always just shock them.
Yeah, just kill him, blow him through the door. No, it opened. Cole finds out that he was the choice career to pick up the package that destroyed half the city. Coincidence? The Reapers plan on putting poison mind control agents into the water, supply the city, infecting everyone. Cole reaching fountains and the water is black. People keep getting sick and people are dying. People are convinced that Cole is the terrorist. Cole helps as much as he can to get rid of the sludge. He gets it in his eyes and can hear someone talking to him in his head, telling him that his girlfriend hates him and that he frightens her. No more pain, no more heartache. Cole tells it it's not real and Trish fixes him up. Phew. Apparently she still hates him though. Zeke and Cole are at home contemplating how screwed they are, as Cole restores electricity to the city and improves his powers. In the city, Cole skates across power lines for electrical current under his feet, repowering substations and climbing back to the surfaces. He starts his rescue plan for John and the race fair in the middle of Reaper territory to search a train for John and a prisoner of war. He didn't find John. Trish calls Cole, tells him leader of the Reapers is a woman named Sasha, a high-ranking member of the First Sons, whose location is in the Jefferson Tunnel. But as Cole heads there, he hears a voice in his head again from the black sludge. Very X-Files. Come home at last. Cole finds where they are making the Reapers. People locked in cages being sprayed with black sludge. Cole breaks open the cages and tries to help the people while fighting his own mind. He finds Sasha. She attacks him with some kind of weird prowess lizard tongue, and a giant fight ensues. He hopes his mind doesn't turn to crap because of these powers, but he needs to dig himself out of this mess. Episode 5. They've obviously had their big fight, big craziness fight, which you would have seen happen. So, boom, Sasha's rescued by elite mercenaries, and they take the tunnel down with them as they escape. Cole is weak, fatigued, tired. He needs more power. Skips to the next scene. Transients. The ones who execute people if they refuse to work. He finds someone named Roger Miller, who can help him fix a bridge, but his power isn't strong enough to use the hydraulics on the bridge. Cole has it covered. The bridge lowers, and away he goes. Just kill out that whole part that you do where you've got to fight and... Cole returns to Zeke. Zeke's meeting someone for a date, so I've just killed Amy off. Within minutes, Zeke calls Cole to say she took off on him. She came over and said she couldn't stay long. She only likes him as a friend. Meanwhile, Cole is trying to fix the power couplings and a generator throughout the city. Pick your times, Zeke. Drones are patrolling this warren and the street, but one has crashed. So Cole needs to find the flight recorder and send it to Trish. The First Sons are using drones to try and find the race fair, but Cole decides that he has to find them first to get the flight recorders before they self-destruct. The conduit called Kessler calls Cole, threatening him while he's trying to take down the drones. He calls Kessler again, calling him pathetic and that he doesn't get it and he won't get a second chance. To me, this was all a bit like he knew what was going on almost. Zeke and Cole have a heart-to-heart on the phone about the mishap at the shipyard. Day 18, Episode 6. Moira explains to Cole that a fight might erupt between the police and the dustmen, which are the crazy people, really, that execute people. Cole tells Moya that the warren used to be a park, but now it looks like a giant scrapyard, looking for someone called Alden, who's made the structure. Cole fights his way through more and more enemies to follow Alden's echo. A giant electrical beast appears as Cole proceeds to destroy it, with more than enough power. The police have taken Alden. The dustmen are running around driving buses filled with automatic weapons, killing everyone in sight. Cole is sick of it. He attacks the buses. His powers do nothing until he hits a power link on the back of the bus, blowing them to pieces.
It'd be an awesome action scene.
It would be, actually.
Yeah, just seeing all the explosion of the tram.
Next bit annoys me. Cole heads for the prison to help Zeke and keep Alden safe. The dustmen are sieging the building, so Zeke asks Cole if they can help him keep the dustmen out. A giant battle ensues, with electrified dustmen attacking the building. Zeke decides to come out acting hero, don't know why. They get into the prison, everyone is dead. Alden is gone. Zeke again screwed up. He should have stayed in the prison instead of helping Cole, who needed no help. The race fair. Alden. Day 19. Moira and Cole arguing about Zeke failing to keep it together. Cole telling Trish that the cops are dead and Alden's free because of Zeke. John calls Cole to meet him again. Light at the end of the tunnel. John and Cole meet, but a helicopter appears, owned by the first son, and John just takes off. Huge trashman electrified monster golem type creature has just destroyed the helicopter, and it turns to Cole to show it who's boss. But within all that, and all the scuffle, John bails. John calls back Cole and wishes him to get the race fair. Cole tells John that he will tell Moya too. John tells Cole that he's being played, and he has never been married to someone called Moya. Cole is in shock and explains that she's an FBI agent like John, but John scoffs at this idea and says that he hates those bastards. One of them is lying. The transient building. Alden's building. Zeke appears behind Cole. He explains that they need to get to the top of the race fair. They need to get to the top to get the race fair. They reach, obstacle after obstacle, the giant blue orb shown pulsating at the top. Cole starts fighting a giant golem once again, twice the size. Kessler and Alden arguing with each other like a bunch of children on top of the roof. Cole tells Zeke to run, but Zeke grabs the race fair, and instead of sprinting, he freezes up. He doesn't look scared though. He pauses for a moment, only to look down at the race fair and back to Cole. This whole time Zeke wanted to be a superhero too, but is this the way to do it? He rips it open, and nothing changes. Kessler tells Zeke that he may know what to do if all he has to do is pass it over to him. All this happens as he stares Cole sheepishly in the eye. After all he did at the prison and let those police die, he made his second mistake. John is annoyed at Cole. He told him to pick someone that he could trust. 92 seconds. Alden's heading to a historic district. Cole needs to stop him before he gets across to the other side. Cole finds Alden, a giant monolithic creature charged with power, and Alden pulsating in a ray coming out of its mouth. None of you understand. I do. I see it all, Alden says. A giant fight across the bridge with Cole and Alden. Colin catches him out and destroys him. No longer a threat, just a crazy old man who's had his stuff stolen. He tells Cole that they should join together and take down Kessler. But before Cole can decide what to say, Alden throws himself off the bridge. Just like Cole, he can control energy. But would this fall kill him? Because he was a conduit, so I was thinking...
It'd be an interesting thing to leave for the next season. What is he dead or alive?
Cole faces a decision from Kessler. Save your girl. Or save your doctors. You have to save one, but not both. Cole chooses the doctors. The needs of many outweigh the needs of a few. Trish, his girlfriend, falls to her death. But before she dies, she tells Cole she loves him. He buried her in the park where all the others paid for fighting with their lives. Cole argues with John about Trish and Moya. Cole needs to destroy the UAVs that are protecting balloons, which are now distributing poison throughout the city like Joker gas. Cole destroys the balloons. John has attached a generator to a helicopter so that him and Cole can fly through the air and destroy guns which are protecting the building from the ray sphere. Cole finds it. Cole needs to destroy the sphere, but he needs to make a choice. He can use the power and become the ultimate anti-hero, killing hundreds of thousands, or he can destroy it. And that's the final cutscene. Yeah. And it's just basically no talking. It'll just be like a monologue of Cole chooses to destroy it. Trish and Zeke flash into his mind as he uses all the power he can muster and throws it straight into the ray sphere. But something happens. Something breaks. The ray sphere rips apart, pulling in John, assimilating him into nothing. And then in brackets I've got Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Cole runs. Everything is turned to ash. This is the final scene. Everything is turned to ash. Kessler calls him and tells him he's disappointed in him. But Cole reassures Kessler it's not about him. It's the people in the city. And where he first saw Cole in that first scene on the ground of Ground Zero. Kessler explains that he's always been there for Cole, every step of the way of his life. Kessler and Cole ensue in a giant fight. Kessler can teleport back and forth, shooting giant balls of energy. Cole trying his best to fight an onslaught of barrage of attacks. Face your destiny, Cole, Kessler yells. Cole grabs into Kessler's head and uppercuts him with all the power he can muster, smashing him into the ground. Kessler whispers and whimpers. Trish, I love you. Forgive me. He rushes Cole with all his power, forcing his open hand onto his forehead. Cole begins to understand. Kessler saw the true evil. Instead of fighting the evil, he ran with his family, leaving everyone to die. And by that point, it was too late. Kessler went back in time to try to rewrite history, infiltrated the First Sons, spent decades and decades planning and biding his time plotting everything and finding Cole. Kessler finds a picture of himself, married to Trish, with Zeke as his best man. Cole couldn't fathom what he has just seen. Cole couldn't fathom that they were the same person. If he had killed that woman he'd loved and done it all to harden himself, who was he now? But it all made sense. He needed him to be a ruthless killer again to be able to fight the beast, all for the good of mankind. He took his one last look at his future self, looking away, anger, hatred and rage. But this was the only beginning for Cole. He was ready to face the evil. The camera pans out on Cole standing over the city alone. He's never felt so alone. End of scene.
Really good. It's real good, like the details in that as well. Like, I like the bit of Trish dying shows you that the hero suffers. It's pretty much what the hero's journey is suffering.
It is.
But it's doing it, but because you're suffering, no one else has to.
Yeah, that immense loss. Yeah, just because you are. Yeah.
And I also like the bit where, like you said, he makes the choice if he wants to destroy the conduit or get the power. One bit I would add to that would be really cool, just my own opinion, is that he actually does the bad way of doing it. And like you see it all happen, and you see the destruction of what he causes, but it's all in his head, and it pans out, and you see a tear coming down his eye, and it pans out, and it shows you he just lives what could be the possibility. Then he's like, no,
And he's just, yeah.
and then he destroys the conduit.
He gets almost like that. Oh, I like that. Would be a perfect way to do it.
Maybe, I don't know, it's not in the game, but maybe some electricity power comes to him where he can actually see what will happen if he does that choice.
Oh, that would make sense too, because he can almost see the last couple of seconds of before people die. So that would almost.
So maybe his eyes could go like Raiden.
Oh, true. And he can.
Could open it and like you can see red in his eyes, and you can see him living that life. What could happen
Well,
then?
that's why he's got the tear, because his brain's like, you can't. You've already made your decision. Yeah. You've already made your choice.
And decides to not go with it. That's just a personal thing, because I thought the story was really detailed and really, really good.
I like that. It was almost like when Doctor Strange goes
Yeah.
one, and Tony Stark's just like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the one.
It would stop people going, oh, but what if he did the other choice? You know now because you see it, but he doesn't make that choice because it's in his head.
Oh, that'd be good. And because of all that sludge and stuff that's in its head, you'd never know.
Yeah.
If it was, I like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, mine went for gargantuan. I just thought I wanted to turn it into a story rather than cutscene after cutscene after
That was
cutscene.
perfect. Like usually it's like the ones I do is like that, and that's really, really good. To be honest, I just couldn't find enough story that interested me to actually create something like that. But listening to yours one though, I really want to see it now.
Yeah, I watched a 6.5 hour walkthrough of Infamous, of the Infamous with no commentary, and I just sat there and I watched it, and then every bit that was happening, I was just remembering a couple of years ago, like, cool. No.
Because this is the first podcast I was going to for a video game review pitch where I was thinking, my ideas are kind of cool, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I wouldn't rush to see it over. Like, it's kind of like, it's good as an idea, as a concept, but it would wear thin after a couple of seasons. Yeah. But your one is really, really, really good. It's epic and had so much to it that I was like, I was engaged.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't talk much.
It would have to be. It would have to be almost like the way I thought of it as Game of Thrones. Yeah. It's like 2 hours an episode, hour and a half an episode, and it's just cliffhanger. You don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't even tell you what's going to happen next week or in the next episode. It's just and then the next one just starts, comes up.
Yeah, that was really, really good. I was really impressed. I'd love to see your one. I'd love to see that as well.
Infamous.
It was really good.
But yeah, I definitely got mixed between Second Son. Yeah. No. What's the one with the girl? Yeah, it is Second Son. Yeah, I got mixed between that because I was watching some parts and I was like, "This doesn't happen. This is the bit where he's up the tower," and I was like, "No, it's not."
Where's the bit where I spray paint?
Yeah, this isn't this game.
If you have any thoughts or perhaps a question you would like to ask about an episode of the show, or perhaps you just want to talk movies or games in general, well, you can. You can visit the Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page, or you can visit us on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. You can also email us, if you like, at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's a Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. So yeah, on a general, just going through the 2 pictures, your one was the story that I want to see. The reason for my one I'd want to see it is just the concept. Not really, because I didn't go into great detail of the story because I couldn't find the great details I would kind of be intrigued to. Plus, I've going 2 branching stories. I didn't want it to do 2 whole.
Oh, yeah, true. You would too. You have to do 2 completely different arcs.
That's why I started only with the basic start of it as well. But your one was engaging because you chose one. You were ballsy and you chose one way of going. You went with the good way, which I like.
Because usually I do it always the opposite. I always do the bad games first and then try to just come back, but then I never play it again.
I'm always the hero first because I always go the way I would like to actually be if I was that person. And the second one, I just do it because no consequences. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was like in Fable. Fable was like that for me.
An upcoming video game movie pitch is going to be Mass Effect, and that's very much the same kind of way where it's going to be choice.
All Mass Effect?
The first one.
Cool with Shep. Oh, yeah. Oh, with Garrison. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. With Rex. Yeah. Oh, there's so many choices in that one.
In that situation, won't go too much into it, but I like the idea of structuring a story and you just deciding to go with it, not kind of like going, like I'm kind of iffy, like I'm trying to cater for both sides so people wouldn't get upset. Yeah. But I like the fact that you just chose a story and went with it.
Always the good one. Yeah. Because I felt like that was who he was going to be at the end of the movie anyway. Yeah. If he had just played this dick kind of the whole way through, it would have kind of been a bit different.
Yeah, well, it would be a different show. And you wouldn't like the guy, and Donald Glover's too lovable to not like.
Literally. You see him sitting on his tower just smoking a cigarette flick.
Yeah, that's what I like. The most intriguing me about this is Donald Glover doing that. This is going to be intriguing.
And a computer animation, Donald Glover.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Matt, for joining me today for a video game movie pitch. It was fun, and you brought your A game this week for it.
Yeah, I did too. It was good.
Thank you very much, and thank you for listening. Remember, some others may do it better, but nobody does it, Bennett. Take care.
It's the end of the show, and now it's time to go. Don't be sad, just be glad. Then nobody does it better.